The last episode, we paused with senses fooling our minds. Today, we will try to continue the same topic of pratnya or consciousness, in other words, and we'll try to focus on the various aspects of pratnya or consciousness, and we try to take the topic forward. As I mentioned earlier, we need some kind of a commitment from the student or the listener or the serious seeker or sadhak as we call it. There are two types of observation. One is observation itself, observation of a particular phenomena or a topic or an idea. And then if you want to seriously follow that observation up by further studies or further seeking or further research, you should go into an observance mode. The observance is nothing but uh, a kind of a commitment on a daily basis that I will follow the subject to my best of my abilities and then try to find results myself. Because in pratnya or consciousness, in the realm of consciousness, there is no role of an external teacher, or the role of an external teacher is highly limited. Like what we call the guru or the guide has only a limited role to play. His role or his or her role is only to show you the path or show you the door. It's up to you to unlock the door and get inside and find for yourself the hidden truths that lay inside. So, that being the case, we have to go on a journey of observance in order to find out the basic. We already found out the basic state of consciousness as parimita pratnya, the realm of the insentient beings and the animals in the world. And then the role of parimita pratnya slowly birthing itself in the human race or the human civilizations, and slowly by education, culture, and nurturing of the culture and education, increasing that pratnya or consciousness to higher levels of awareness and observance and observation as you go on in life and deeper into higher levels of awareness and understanding and knowledge and wisdom. And finally, our goal is to reach Sthita Prajna, or the state of an equipoise where you are able to balance as a seeker, as a witness, standing outside a stream of events, as if on the banks of a river, and watching the river flow with aplomb, without any. I'm not saying stoicism. Uh, Actively wise and aware of the situations yourself, but at the same time not being part of it yourself. That is the attitude of a witness or a sakshi in Sanskrit language. If once you're able to create a situation or an environment or a circumstance where you are able to stand aside and watch as a witness or a referee events going by your life, events happening to your close relatives, then you are able to say that with some confidence, with some level of confidence, that you have reached a level of Siddha Pratnya, or at least the beginnings of Siddha Pratnya, or equipoise between opposites. We all live in a world of opposites, black and white, with so many shades of gray in between, colors in between, be day and night, good and bad, right and wrong. These are the basic opposites that we have to grapple with on our daily basis. But then, are you able to wisely course through these decisions or through these dualities in life? This is what decides your ultimate success as a Siddha Prajna or an equipoise fellow. The fellow with the kind of equipoise is what we find in the great scriptures portrayed as the ideal man or the ideal personality to follow. This is the seeker's model. This is the seeker's ideal. This is the seeker's idol, I would say. A lot of people accuse the Hindus or Sanatana Dharma of idol worshippers. In fact, each idol represents an ideal. In fact, we are ideal worshippers. Once we have set up a goal as an ideal, we will follow all the information and knowledge available at hand in order to attain that ideal. That ideal is our idol. So that is why we have created a lot of idols and gurus and teachers and masters along the way. So the ideal is the is the goal. Then we have to follow the observances along the path in order to reach those ideals. Now, as I mentioned, I'm basing my lecture, I'm basing these episodes in the form of a book or a textbook that I may called "Truth as Reality." In fact, the title itself speaks a lot about the subject that we talk about. Any ideal that is not truth is false, not worth to follow. Any ideal that is not true is not real. So anything that is not real is false also. So it is not worth pursuing. So we are talking about a very straightforward course of action and a course of travel, which we undertake together with the help of this book as a guide. As I said, I follow the book and the guide totally with the Upanishads and the scriptures as the reference points. There is nothing original by from me. There is nothing creative by me. There is nothing innovative by me. Everything that I speak about today and the course of these talks have been referred to before. The only thing is that we need in the modern world a set of tools and a set of guides or tutorials, you may call, in order to easily catch up with those huge funds of wisdom lying in the scriptures and the Upanishads and the Vedas. That is what we are trying to make as humble attempt in the form of a book, textbook to follow, which you may follow side by side along with these lectures. After the lecture, you may open the few pages of the book and find out the references that we refer to in the course of this talk, and then get back to the book and the lecture for the next sessions. So I I have three chapters already mentioned in the book. The first two chapters are two small set of verses authored by Adi Shankaracharya, a great saint, a great sannyasi who lived in around 8th century AD in India, and all his works are in Sanskrit. He had a set of disciples, and he is the first person to truly integrate India into what we know as Bharat today. And the third chapter in the same book, Truth as Reality, is based on the ninth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. I don't think anybody needs a further introduction on to Bhagavad Gita, as it is already a well-known uh, song of God, as we say. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad means divine. Gita means song. It's a divine song, and it is delivered in one of the most impossible or improbable contexts one can imagine. Imagine a soldier, a captain of an army, in the middle of the battle, about to give commands to shoot and kill, but then suddenly his mind turns passive. His mind turns sort of full of guilt. Who is he facing to? Who is he going to kill? Now, if we look at wars and battles then and now, there is not much of a difference. The faces that we find, or that the faces that we try to battle and kill on the other side of the fence, they are also human beings. They have families, they have wives, they have children, they have schools, they have universities, and those very organisms and the institutions we are trying to perish. we are trying to kill and demolish and destroy by our weapons of destruction. What a sad story. It is the same case that happened during the times of Bhagavad Gita. It is a battlefield where Arjun, the protagonist, let's say, they are just names. They are us, nothing, nobody other than us, then as well as now. The characters are the same. The time scale and the calendar was different. That's all. The the idea of a man feeling guilty about his whereabouts, about the targets of his battlefield, is the same then and now. Now, on the other side, where does he seek the advice from? He seeks his advice from a character called Krishna. Krishna, down the ages, was worshipped as a hero and a god and a deity, as a personal deity by most of the Sanatanis, most of the people who we call Hindus. A lot of people across the world have even created societies and cults, even with Krishna as the focus. It is no wonder that the story of Krishna is attractive then as it is now. The Krishna consciousness, as we say, is the same consciousness that we are trying to arrive at the end of our lives, or the sometime in our lives, if we are lucky. So the Sthitaprajna state, or the Sthitaprajna status, as we say, as we may call, is already achieved, is attained by Krishna. So Krishna is speaking from a platform higher than that of the other guy, Arjun. We should realize that. Arjun is the seeker and Krishna is the sought. Arjun is the student, Krishna is the teacher. Arjun is the passenger, Krishna is the driver. Literally, in the case of this battlefield, Krishna undertakes himself to drive the tank, let's say, to use the modern terminology of a chariot, then he is the tank driver or the battle vehicle driver, and Arjuna is the guy with the gun or the arrows. So Arjuna seeks his advice at a point where the battlefield battle is about to start and commence. Why should I kill Krishna? The people on the other side of the battle are my own relatives, my own uncles, my own cousins. How can I take up arms against them? How can I draw my pistol and shoot them to kill? Essentially, they're all human beings, this side and the other side. What is the role of violence in trying to solve issues? The same issues that we face today in the modern world and the issues that plagued the earlier civilizations in earlier times, in ancient times, are almost the same. You can say they were divided on power, they were divided on land, they were divided on ownership. Essentially, it's a question of ego. One who is not able to surrender his ego to the for the larger cause, one who is not able to surrender or control his individual ego to the common interests of the larger ego that is embraces the whole world and the cosmos, is the problem.